Let's do heroic Ner'zhul first. This fight, pretty basic. This is probably going to be the first fight in Pugs where you see a major resistance. It's for one reason and one reason only. It's not a hard fight, but there is a knockoff mechanic. So main thing of the fight, we don't need to talk about this. I think all of you guys would understand that when you see anything that looks like this, clearly don't stand in that. Don't need to talk about it. So just don't stand in that at all. So there's one change in heroic from the original heroic testing. These orbs were like in these little cages and you could hit them, and when the boss did his mechanic on them, they took more damage. The way it is now, and I don't know if this is a mythic only change, but I believe the way it is now is they can't be touched at all unless the boss hits them with his mechanic. I don't know if that was a mythic only change or heroic. It's one of the two. But tanks, you need to hit these orbs with your frontal. It's that, okay? Okay, never mind. So it is permanent. So you can't hit the orbs at all until, well, you can, but they like take no damage until it's hit by this tank mechanic right now. Their tank hits it and they own it. Actually, I think he missed. But that's okay. Sometimes you miss. And how it is now is you won't take any damage from it. When these orbs die, any person needs to take them to the edge of the room. A couple of notes about this. It does slow you when you're trying to take it off, or it's like speed increases are weird. I think you can freedom them. There's a couple of weird things. I think bopping them makes it so you can't actually use your extra action button. Don't do that. But yeah, you just need to throw it off the edge or it'll start doing damage to people. Now here's the main one. Here's where people are gonna fucking die all the time. You guys see this thing over your head? It's 2 debuffs. When they expire or are dispelled, it knocks everyone from where they are. Similar to like Kill Jaden orbs or something like that, right? So you go to those, you run to that guy. They're a little, so I would, okay, I kind of want to draw this. So how I would do this fight, so let's say you have your whole raid, right? Young Money tank is right there. You have like your healers and your, is the boss a smiley face again? It sure is. All right. So 2 malevolences go out. Let's say 1 malevolence goes out on Kanye the Warlock, not Kanye West, just the name Kanye, different guy. Mage would be Ferdinand. Again, strange name. No idea why he was named that. So these two get a buff, okay? So what wants to happen is the first person who gets dispelled goes out alone. This little homie right here, young Kanye. Okay, so Kanye goes to the side, and then everyone else stacks right here, and then you just dispel this guy, and then everyone's gonna go, whoa, and you're gonna get knocked over here, and then Ferdinand is gonna go to the side, and you're gonna dispel him, and it's gonna be like, whoa. And then it's going to create 2 circles, okay? So this, I'll show you this in the video after this. It's going to create a circle here and a circle here. And those are just going to be there for the rest of the fight. Very important, when you get dispelled, it matters where you're facing if you are the person getting dispelled. So I think if you're facing, I believe it knocks you backwards from where you're facing. So if you're a shaman, just look at the way it's facing. If you're faced like this, meaning you're looking to the outside of the room and you're dispelled, when you are dispelled, you'll go this way, okay? But if you were a shaman and you just backed up like this, and you were like the person that needed to get dispelled, and you get dispelled like this, you're gonna go flying off, right? Obviously, movement displacement works. So like if you're a warlock, right, like you could, who cares, right? You're just gonna like port back into position, like whatever. But you guys get the idea. A couple of things to note for that. Let me see if I can actually show you. So here, I don't know how big the knockback, okay, never mind. The knockback on heroic is a joke. You don't need to go that far at all. Look how far the knockback is. I totally forgot. It's like a little babby. Like it's a baby knockback. So the one on Mythic is a bit bigger, just to give you warning. Okay, but this guy right here, this guy gets dispelled. You just want to dispel people on the edge. And then when you go to the other edge, you just dispel the next guy. So they're going to dispel the second guy, right? Or did they double dispel? They might have double dispelled. That works too. But okay, going forward. So the boss is going to shatter at a couple of different things. In heroic, it's not really relevant because you don't have to deal with like the mythic version. But when he does shatter, I know they buffed the shit out of this damage. I don't know if it was only on mythic, but this number's way bigger. It's like 30 plus K all players when he shatters. So if there's any time on this fight where you're going to use like barrier spirit link, it's going to be on shatter. The only shitty part about using those CDs is right afterwards, you're going to get like everything on the ground. So look, he's casting shatter right now. Imagine your health going down to like 30% right here instead of 80%. That's the small change. It might have been mythic only on that. I'm just like giving you warning. And then it's going to do a bunch of circles on the ground. Super easy. You just move out of the first ones. As soon as the second ones go off, you move back into where the first ones are. Very easy to dodge. And then you continue on in the fight. Again, you get Malevolence again. And you just kind of rinse and repeat. Oh, one thing I will say in Malevolence. You can dispel Malevolence honestly whenever. Like they have 13 and 16 seconds respectively to dispel this. Never dispel with puddles on the ground. If you're a raid leader right now, what I would be doing is I would be like, all right, we're going to dispel in 3, 2, wait, don't dispel. And I would have literally stopped the countdown because one of the only ways you're going to lose people on this fight is by knocking people back during the like shadow puddles on the ground, right? So you would literally stop and you'd wait till this is over and wait till the suffer is over for tanks. So they hit both. And then you'd be like, okay, dispel the first one now. 3, 2, 1, dispel. Listen, good job, person who can't hear me. And then you'd be like, wait, get away from the edge. There's more like things on the ground and this person's going to get knocked off. Do not dispel yet. Yeah. See, like right there, you would have communicated not to dispel there because you had people near the edge, just stuff like that. And if you guys have if you guys want to give yourself an example of what not to do, in most pugs, you want to, if you're a pug raid leader or you're an early heroic boss raid leader, tell your raid to go to the middle of the room. On Mythic, you need to be a little closer. But on Heroic, just tell people after knockbacks to just get back to the middle of the room as soon as possible, because then no matter where the knockback is, no one's getting knocked off, right? Oh yeah, his debuff actually expired. So it wasn't a fault of the Dispeller, just a fault of not doing them fast enough. So yeah. So that's what I would do. So if you're a raid leader on this fight, have if Verdinand is getting dispelled and everyone's knocked here, just make sure no matter what, even if you're right next to the Dispeller, just go back to the middle. It's mindless. If you go back to the middle after every Dispel, you will never get knocked off the edge. That's how you do this fight on Heroic. But I mean, like, you're going to wipe because people are going to get knocked off. But at least in a like pug group, at least it's going to be funny, you know? Like honestly, getting knocked off the edge is like a top tier funny way to like wipe. So at least it's like comical. There. Perfect example of when never to do a Dispel. If you guys see... First of all, this is a shatter. Never, ever, ever dispel in a shatter. Ever, 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 ever. Very bad. Do not do that. Okay? So if a shatter is happening right now, you never dispel. Because look what's going to happen, right? You're dead right here. If you're not a warlock or like if you, like you're just dead so many times to that. Don't do that. Then this guy needs to go to the edge. He has very little time left. He's just hitting the boss. I mean, honestly, I respect it. Like, I 100% respect this. Look at this DK. He doesn't give a fuck, dude. Yes. Okay, so here's the deal. If you're a melee... do what that guy did. Just like, if your raid leader tells you to go to the edge, honestly, fuck it. Just like blast the boss, man. Just blast him. Okay. Also, one thing, if you guys noticed this, the tanks kind of missed this. Right here, the boss is lined up for a perfect shatter, and then the boss gets moved. You want to make sure the boss hits both orbs here. Do you see how they both have a 99% damage reduction? Look at the boss's shatter right now. See how the tank moves him here? He shouldn't have done that. He should have kept him here, and look at this suffering. You see how this suffering is going to make this one lose its damage reduction? He could have hit both there. And then he's going to shatter again. Again, never dispel during a shatter. God, this DK, I love him. I love him. I want him in my guild. Yeah, so if you're a tank, again, I usually don't talk about tank stuff because, like, do your own thing. Just, like, don't die and stuff. But you always want to line... If you're a tank, this, like, debuff here, you want to line up to where you're hitting orbs. So he's going to cast, like, right now. Is he going to Malevolence? Oh, he did it. Okay, so he got both there. Perfect. Good job, tanks. All right, so comp doesn't really matter. Bring best players. However, knockback prevention is pretty good. But it's heroic, so like bring your whole guild and shit. And shit at the end. Excellent addition. Things to look out for. Dispelling at the right time. Really, I mean, dispelling at the wrong time, albeit a comedic wipe. You're going to lose a few people. Not even knocking people off, just knocking people like into these mechanics and shit. Like, you just don't want to do that. What else is there? Things to look out for. No, I mean, you don't need to talk about these circles, right? You just don't stand in that. Pretty easy. And then the big circle or the big like movement thing on the fight, you don't dispel that. All right, I think that's it. Remnant is very basic on heroic. When do you want to lust for Remnant? Okay, that's a good question, actually. So lusting on the pull isn't bad, because I think what it does is there is a little bit of Stone Legion in this boss, and please don't like immediately get triggered by that. But what I mean by that is Malevolence timing is slightly reset on phasing the boss. So if lusting on the pole makes it so the boss does his first shatter before you get a malevolence, you'll probably get like one less cast of it or something. But that may also be true like at the end. Like you may get one less malevolence in the last phase. But I'm trying to remember. I don't remember this boss getting harder in heroic as the fight goes on. Am I wrong? I have to be wrong. Like the fight clearly gets harder. Like the whole purpose of the mythic version of this fight is that the fight gets harder as you go on. But like, I don't know if that's actually true in heroic. I might be wrong though. I mean, I guess it technically gets harder because like he does puddles faster and there's just more puddles in the room kind of. So like, but the thing is like most of the time what's going to happen on this fight is for most guilds, the difficulty of this fight is going to be killing it as fast as possible. So you get less overall mechanics to potentially kill people. It's not like in one phase it's significantly harder than the others. And there's a good chance most guilds are just like, okay, well, we're in the last phase, so lust it up, brother. But like most of the time, like they don't have 2 and 3 minutes up, so the lust fucking sucks. So lusting on the pole is usually like really good for fights like this, unless the fight gets massively harder as it goes on. But I don't really know if it does in heroic. Honestly, play it by ear. Start by lusting on the pole, and if you feel like you could use it later, I would move it. That's what I would do. Okay, on to Horny Garage. All right, so let me go ahead and delete this. This is one of the most disappointing fights I've ever seen them put in the game, on Mythic and Heroic. It honestly does not feel like it needs to be there during the raid, which as you can see from my great drawing, it's like somewhere around here. Horn. All right, cool. So this fight is really this basic. They basically, when they made this fight, they were like, well, first of all, someone was insanely horny because in the old dungeon journal, it used to say the words Soulrender goes to work on Garrosh, and Garrosh is literally chained up, and the boss is like fucking sucking shit out of him. So like it's an absolute horn fest in here. Like it's bad. But the main mechanic of the fight is this. Did you guys do that thing in Classic? The one where the Hygen, that guy, the dance? That's this fight. You guys see these things? There's gonna be one safe spot. There's 4 corners. You need to get out of the red. Very easy, okay? That's it. Now, at 2 times in this fight, I think, it might be like based on his energy or something, he is going to do a like dance mechanic. And then there's ads. So here's the ads. In Mythic, there's a little bit more intricacy with the ads. In Heroic, you just want to like get them together and blast them. Right? So they're going to go towards the boss. They want to horn up Garrosh as well, so you have to keep them away from that. Now, I know what you're saying. Max, are these things the exact same copy-paste brand mechanic from Argus? Yes. It is the exact same model, and it kind of does the same thing, except on Argus, you just needed to not kill your friends with it, and in this, that's kind of true too, but you're also killing ads with it. So if you have one brand, you want to get one of these on top of all of the ads. It increases your damage done to them. So that's all you want to do. With that, and then you just say with the ads, I am not kidding you, it is a minute into this video, that is the entire fight. Does it stack? No. Only one works. Last testing at least. But if that ever changes, just put them both in there. Who knows? Okay, so the boss is 75%. He's going to work on Garrosh right now, fucking him up. Love that. Then, okay, they do have markers. I will explain something with this mechanic in a second. So there's going to be chains you have to break. They just came out. There's 3 of them, okay? All you need to do is break them within a certain amount of time and not kill your teammates with them. There are classes that are better than this than others. You can like grip people with them. You can, use speed increases. You can do anything you can think of on them. There's really not too many restrictions. So you're going to see this guy Wraith Walk with this, right? So this guy's going to break his first chain. Watch the raid health. Bam. Okay, he did a little bit of raid damage. Everyone else looks like they had Spirit Shell from Cat Heals, Young Money Cat Heals. Okay? And then they're going to break the middle one now. So that guy, Vengeance Leaps, breaks the next one. All right? And then the third guy breaks the other one. If you don't break these in time, you basically wipe. You definitely wipe. And then they give you a debuff, which can be immuned off, I believe, or just all immunities would work on this, where you just need to have someone do it different every time. You can either immune them off and have the same people do them every time, or you can have different people do them. Either way, super fucking easy. There's nothing to it whatsoever. There's also no other scenario in this entire fight when you need to actually prepare your group from dying. So like right here, when you know there's 3 chains being broken, you can use all of your defensives right here, right? So this is where you'd want to like rally and cry and like all that other shit, right? Very obvious, very basic raid stuff. Then you have the young 3 little things again, and then you're gonna do the dance soon. So the dance is a little faster. So you just have to pick your safe spot, have everyone look at it, or have one person call it out. I'll kind of go into the philosophy of that for a second. So there, 4 was safe. Right here, 3 was safe. Turn around, 2 is safe. And then after this, 1 will be safe. And then you just go over. And then there might be 1 more. Is there 5 on heroic? Then you have to go across. You have to go across. Whoop. Okay, you have to go across. There's multiple ways you can probably think of in your mind to go across the far way. I think the easiest one for everyone involved, yes, you can roar. A good thing this group could have done, just for general things, if you guys have a shaman, it's a male class, it's blue, put a wind rush right here, and they're going, okay, you would actually want to place the wind rush now. So the wind rush lasts for here, you go to the left, it's over, and then you go back into the right and you run through the wind rush again. If they would have had this roar earlier and they would have been more aware, they wouldn't have died to it. Or I don't think anyone died, they just got really close. Yeah. You can also gateway. You can use a gateway from purple to star. The only problem is do not put your gate through this middle shit. I think if you go into this middle shit, it does really bad. It's like a big dot or something. I don't think it'll kill you, but like it'll definitely do damage to you. So just like, you know, you can just gate across the last one too. There's no reason to not have a gate down there. And then that's the entire fight. You guys just saw the whole fight. Nothing else changes. I will tell you a philosophy that I believe about mechanics like this. This may be a world first thing, and maybe this is a huge bait, but if you're in a guild and you have like comms that are pretty reliable, like when I approach this fight, again, this might be different for everyone else, I tell everyone in my raid to never look at this mechanic. Never. All it is someone in the raid, so either the raid leader or one person you trust, and all he's going to do is use his full focus on calling the right thing, whether you use markers or numbers to call the correct one, and everyone else just fully focuses on them, and they never worry about the mechanic. That's kind of like the bit with raid leading and just in general making a 20-man group size thing better, is by assigning few people to deal with mechanics and everyone else will just focus on their character. That's not uncommon, like you guys get that. Okay, they figured out the gate thing. That's good. When we do this, I literally want my raiders, when this is coming out, I don't even want them to look at the back of the room. I don't even want them to look. I literally just want them to hear, usually in our guild, it's Eric. He's just going to say 4, and everyone knows where to go. So that's how you do that. So if you're in a pug group, if you're a raid leader, that's what's going to kill more people than not. So just scream it out to people. Obviously, being at the front of the room gives you more room to get to the correct spot. But that's it. There's nothing else to look out here for. Comp could not possibly matter. On Mythic, maybe it does a little bit, but you know what it is. Things to look out for. Probably nothing. Oh, make sure you break all chains and use defensives to not die during them. But I'm not kidding. That is it. Super easy boss. Super big disappointment that a boss this easy is in the middle of the raid. But what can you do?